Good morning, you wonderful people. Hope you're having an amazing day, and welcome to the Supercars of London YouTube channel, and welcome back to the GTC4 Lusso, the V12 masterpiece from Ferrari Northern Europe. This is my first press Ferrari that I've had the opportunity of exploring over the last 7 days. And whilst maybe Ferrari might be expecting, or you might be expecting, a bit of a review telling you what this car is like to drive, why you would buy it, I'm actually going to delve into one of my favourite subjects, and that is talking about the cost of owning supercars and something like that on finance. If you haven't already guessed from the video title, I'm going to be rattling through the specification on this car because it is a unique and incredibly special. It's around £85,000. We will get into the detail, but to give you a sneak preview of just how ridiculous some of the options are, Apple CarPlay in that car costs £400 more than my neighbour's very nice, mint condition, used Alfa Romeo Mito, which she bought for £2,000. Apple CarPlay in that costs £2,400. But we're going to be going through the spec. We're also going to be going through some finance options and working out just how rich you've got to be to buy a brand new V12 Lusso. Now, from the outside, you would think that this is a fairly mundane specification from Ferrari, but look a little closer and you will start to see gloss carbon fibre sneaking out from every angle. We've even got Ferrari carbon fibre centre caps for these beautiful satin titanium finished wheels. The specification comes together beautifully. We've even got carbon fibre side vents there that give air or release air from the wheels, brakes, engine and everything that comes in through this massive front grille. Now, the front of the Lusso to me isn't my favourite angle of the car. It's actually the rear three-quarter, because you get to see these amazing shoulders in action, and the rear is just a little bit sharper than the front. The front is curvy and classy, but the back is very, very exceptionally aggressive. And then actually opening the car up, this is where you start to see the specification really come to life. It's got carbon fibre everywhere, carbon fibre all down the door handles. We've got it all across the center console, and what I have loved is the attention to detail and technology that is in this Lusso. I was amazed at how Ferrari have put together this car, and it is classy, elegant and refined, and sits above Bentley in terms of build quality and materials used. I absolutely love spending time in here. Carbon fibre everywhere. That is the spec sheet over there. I'm going to go and pick that up so that you guys just get to see how ridiculous some of these optional extras are. But when they all come together, it's a masterpiece. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, I think what I want to try and do, rattling through the specification on this particular car, is Ferrari Northern Europe's Lusso before was a dark blue. And if you go on YouTube, you see Car Throttle's videos, you see Carwow's videos. Anyone that had the V12 Lusso from Ferrari Northern Europe had the blue car. That has obviously retired from the fleet, so I thought that I would take you around the new V12 Lusso that has entered the Ferrari Northern Europe fleet, just so that in future videos, whether you want to watch a review of what it's like to drive or what it's like to live with, you will be able to understand the specification just that little bit more. So this is very much an introductory to the V12 Lusso, starting with Apple CarPlay, £2,400 right at the top there. You get to see the starting price. Actually, the starting price is £243,000. I thought it was 48. But the colour is Grigio Ferro and the interior is Bordeaux with Nero carpets. But just take a look at some of those optional extras. Just picking out the panoramic glass roof, £11,520. Front and rear suspension lift system is nearly £4,000. Black exhaust tips, £960. Advanced front camera, £1,100. Carbon fibre front spoiler. So that little thing down there that I showed you, £3,360. The list goes on to the back where you get to see the full finished price, £332,395 retail for this wonderful car. In this day and age when everything is being downsized, to still be able to go to a dealership and purchase a brand new Ferrari that on the road, in car parks, wherever you are, is fundamentally a boat, a limousine. The size of this thing is massive, yet it still has the option of having a naturally aspirated V12. Makes everything a little bit more okay in this world, I think. And the sound that follows you is one of the reasons why this car is so expensive. So, talking about finance on a £330,000 car, obviously there are some people out there that have done that and achieved that on YouTube. I have not ever bought a car over £200,000, but everything that I have bought has been through finance, so I understand the mechanism well. And for this type of car, I wanted to go in at something that an average Ferrari Lusso customer would probably place as a deposit on a brand new one, which I thought was around £100,000, taking a little bit over 20% to put into the value of this car so that the monthly payments could be that little bit more swallowable. Is that even a word? Swallowable? Anyway, it is now. £100,000 deposit on this car with a 2-year interest only finance package will be coming out at around £1,100 a month, which isn't that bad considering you're spending £330,000 on a car and having all of these optional extras. Obviously you don't have to go that crazy on the specification. You can tick a few boxes here and there and probably have a V12 Lusso for £270,000, but this having almost every single optional extra, because Ferrari, as one of their press cars, they want to show what you are capable of being able to do from the Italian manufacturer. £100,000 deposit, £1,100 a month means that the balloon after 2 years is £230,000. So fundamentally, you're putting in the deposit and then paying off the interest to borrow the rest of the money. When you come to the end of the agreement 2 years down the line, you still owe £230,000. And this is where the video gets a little bit interesting, because all you have to do is go on Trusty Auto Trader and you will be able to see 2-year-old V12 Lussos for sale. And I think this is where there is a bargain to be had, because they are sitting at around £189,000. So even if they had no specification, they've still depreciated around 50 grand, 50, 60 grand. Now, obviously with a higher spec, you'd think that it wouldn't depreciate as much, but in fact, it's not necessarily that on the pre-owned market, a bigger spec commands more money. It just means that it's more desirable, if that makes sense. So in 2 years' time, this car being a 2019 car, in 2021, it is likely to be below £200,000 or around the £200,000 mark. So if you go and do a interest-only finance package, we talked a little bit about this with Carl Hartley and Mr. JWW up at Tom Hartley Cars, it makes sense on some cars but doesn't on others. And I think this car, it doesn't make sense on, because I was doing some calculations. Let's say after 2 years this car is worth £200,000. It's cost you £100,000 deposit. It's also cost you around £15,000 just on monthly payments over a year. So that's another £30,000 plus insurance for 2 years plus fuel. Obviously the service pack with Ferrari is phenomenal. 7 years, completely amazed by how Ferrari have the confidence in their product that they can do a 7-year warranty like that and service plan. So let's not worry about that. Let's just talk about monthly figures. 30 grand plus the £100,000 deposit, and that will get you to £230,000, meaning that you still need another £30,000 to pay off what you owe to the finance company. So over 2 years, a brand new, fully spec'd up V12 Lusso is going to cost you £160,000, which over the 2 years is a little shy of 7 grand a month. Let's not talk about fuel, because this being a naturally aspirated V12, it's thirsty. So the bargains to be had are the ones on the second hand that have already done the depreciations, because they do drop heavy in the first couple of years. And I mean, that's what's a little bit scary about when you start dealing with cars that are this expensive. What Ferrari have been able to do is they've created a luxurious cabin where 4 people can enjoy a long cruise in complete comfort and style, but still have Ferrari characteristics, which is obviously the V12, but also the steering, the smell, and other elements that when you spend a lot more time in a Ferrari, you just start to understand that there is so much passion that has gone into the build and development of this car. And I think steering is a big part to play with this. It's just electric. Tiny inputs can really affect the front end, and it just points and goes. And with the 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive system underneath, it's incredibly clever in able to displace the amount of power over the steering, making it a really fun car to drive fast, but also a really elegant and enjoyable car to drive at normal speeds. So anyone that is out there that has bought a Lusso, I'm incredibly jealous of what you're experiencing on a day-to-day basis, because this is a whole new world and it has opened my eyes up. And what Ferrari have nailed, I think, is the ability to have a Ferrari customer own a supercar like a 488, but then still be able to have a Ferrari that they daily drive and ferry their family around or go to business meetings in, and still have an air of class and elegance about them, which is this. So they've kind of monopolized a lot of rich people's driveways, because you literally can just have Ferraris on your driveway that do different things for you during different times of the week. So very jealous of Lusso owners. If you've bought it second hand, even more jealous, because what we have discovered is to finance one of these cars with the rate of depreciation that we're experiencing at the moment, quite an expensive car to own, and let alone run. But with that being said, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you found this video interesting, insightful, educational. I love talking about finance, I love talking about depreciation. It fascinates me in this world, and especially with the likes of a V12 Ferrari, then it's just that much a little bit more interesting and exciting. So thank you very much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, browse, have a look at some of the other videos. I'm not normally in Ferraris, most of the time I'm in Lamborghinis, but I'm actually quite enjoying this balance of Ferrari and Lamborghini on the channel. We can share, can't we? I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.